I am 28, lesbian from Seattle, Washington. I have been scammed for almost $50,000. Before she met me, I was on my way to paying off my student loan debt, and now, almost a year later, I have almost doubled it. The part that I'm most ashamed of is I knew from close to the beginning that she was a scammer and a catfish, but yet still I fell. She was a military scammer, and for some dumb reason I thought I was safe because I have never seen any lesbian getting scammed. She was not much older than me and said she was 36. She was not deployed when we first met, but had to go on deployment suddenly and at the same weekend that we were supposed to meet. We couldn't video chat for the first month that she was at the base near where I live because she was doing FX field training exercises. She commonly used military terms as if they were her everyday vocabulary, and how she talked about the military, it was no different than my friends and family did. I had several friends who were suddenly deployed and are usually doing field exercises prior. I had a friend in the Army who recently retired, and every question I asked or accusation, he said it was true. So I loaned her money to take care of her cousin, who was taking care of her daughter back home in Chicago. She was never, ever angry or showed anything other than love for me when I wouldn't send her money. It wasn't a typical scammer, and so I thought it was okay, but in reality, never send money, especially when you are struggling yourself. I hate that I can't spend money on myself or get help that I need, but I'm able to convince myself to send a stranger money. The money I sent was all through Bitcoin. She said that soldiers exchange that since they don't have access to get cash. Her account was supposedly frozen due to the fraud charges, and being a small bank, they wouldn't let her have access without her going to the bank herself. She even let me log into her bank, and I thought I checked everything out, and the only difference was the URL was slightly different. Instead of a secure bank name, it was a secure-bank name. I swore I logged into it when I searched the bank via Google because she didn't send me a link to the account for at least 10 minutes after she texted me the login info. The $25,000 in credit card debt was because she used accounts to try and pay off money that I had done a cash advance on. Obviously, the bank didn't approve it, and now I owe the money. She would only talk to me twice a day for about 10 minutes each, usually 4 to 6 a.m. to the location that she was deployed, and 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. When she was on base, she texted me more often, but it was still followed by a typical day for a soldier. She was widowed, but never mentioned it until much later, and described her wife and talked about her very similar to someone who's lost a loved one. I was in a very low place in my life when she reached out to me, and as the only random person to ever start talking to me, and we were in the same LGBTQ groups. I have been in a really dark place because of all of this, and it's hard because of the now $91,000 I owe. I don't make much money and might become homeless due to this. Thank you for letting me tell my story. It was a normal Saturday, July 31st, 2020. I was looking at Facebook and noticed I had a friend request from someone in Huntsville, Alabama. I accepted the request. He immediately responded and began chatting. He was charming and funny. We chatted most of the day about everything. I became ill that Sunday and had to be hospitalized for a week. I found it strange that he didn't text. I looked on Messenger and he was gone. Being a romantic at heart, I found him on Gmail. I reconnected with him. Now it is October 29th and we have chatted since then. About 3 weeks after the second reconnect, he started talking to me about his internet was about to go and asked if I could send him an Amazon gift card, so I did. He was very appreciative. Then, he wanted me to accept a box on his behalf to the tune of a $1,200 fee. I told him I couldn't do him that favor. I don't have money except for my Social Security disability. He began telling me how stupid I was and turned into a hateful person. I do not go for verbal abuse. He ended up saying he was so sorry and was taking me as a wife. He loved me so much, and I was so beautiful, as I sent him some pictures. No incriminating ones, no way. He was constantly saying that I was cheating and my self-esteem was going away. Then he wanted some gift cards for the internet. I said, no, I can't do this. He got crazy mad and blocked me, but he came back. He got even madder because I wouldn't send $2. My point is, how does a man like him, look so educated and well off, ask for money? The verbal abuse and accusations were terrible. Now he wants $400 for vacation time so we can meet. He explained it would be forwarded to the UN. Always an agent standing by in Ghana. That really convinced me that he was a scammer. This is a story about endless requests for money and verbal abuse. Maybe this will help me and those who have gone through this, because I don't have any money, and it's what saved me from sending large amounts of money. Thank you for all your hard work in helping victims, and thank you to this lady for telling her story.
We'd like to thank these two ladies for sharing their story. If you'd like to share your story of an encounter with an online scammer, you can email us scammingscammers@gmail.com, or you can message us on our Facebook page, Scamming Scammers Action, and tell us your story. We'll narrate it into a future video. Thanks for listening. Bye.